Yeah, two friends who are obsessed with, the same thing, have a common.
Hi guys, and welcome back to another video where today we'll be talking about American Psycho's Christian Bale. More specifically, we'll be talking about Bale's lifestyle, net worth, and all of his millions, including what he does with them and how he spends his time away from the screen. But before we get into the actual video, make sure you subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any more of the fun. Now, let's talk about what you're here for, the one and only Christian Bale. If you don't know who he is, Christian Bale is a world-renowned actor with a pretty big net worth and fan following. He's a method actor who's known for doing some crazy things to get into the mindset of a role and tends to stick to himself and to his family when he's not filming. You probably know him from movies such as the Batman trilogy and American Psycho, but he's been in tons of other pictures too. He made a name for himself with his performance in the Batman trilogy alongside American Hustle, as it was both of these that shot him into stardom. However, Christian Bale actually debuted to the big screen at just 13 when he appeared in 1987's Empire of the Sun, a war drama that followed the story of a young boy ending up in a Japanese prisoner of war camp. He received widespread attention for his young but impressive performance, and it led him into a wildly successful career that's still flourishing in his 40s. Since the Empire of the Sun, he starred in at least 55 movies and counting. Not too shabby for 3 decades worth of work, he's clearly a busy man. This massive sum of movies has over time procured him a substantial net worth and a brimming bank account that he likes to keep the contents of under wrap. Before we take a look at what Bale does with his millions, we will note that he is notoriously a fiercely private person and tends not to overshare. He likes to keep his family and private life in the shadows and seldom makes appearances for interviews unless he has to. If he ever does, he keeps the conversation strictly work-related and therefore tends not to share much about himself or his life. This means he's not the sort of celeb that we have all the details for, but we've tried our absolute hardest to get them. So here it is, all of the intel on Christian Bale we've managed to gather for you. First thing you're probably wondering, how much is he actually worth? Well, it's a lot. Christian Bale's net worth as of 2021 is around $120 million. And he makes a huge $19 million a year. That's not too bad if you ask me. His largest profitable success was most definitely the Batman trilogy, but he's had various other big hit motion pictures that have lined his pockets nicely. Bale was paid $9 million for Batman Begins, which was just the start of the Batman journey. Things money-wise only went up from there. A paycheck like that was considered modest at the time, but money was soon ramped up even further as the franchise entered a whirlwind of success. Bale ended up getting some hefty bonuses and pay raises across the following years. He ended up being paid $20 million up front for The Dark Knight, meaning he didn't even step foot on set before getting this. He then ended up receiving a $20 million bonus for his performance as Bruce Wayne, which is a pretty fantastic raise. Admittedly, he did share a flawless portrayal of the beloved character and pleased fans everywhere. Now you're probably wondering where all the money he's amassed goes, right? Well, here's what we know. First of all, millions of this goes into his amazing houses. Yes, we do mean houses, plural. Over the last 2 decades, Bale has purchased some incredible pieces of real estate, mostly over in the US. Currently, Christian Bale resides in a gorgeous home with his wife, C.B. Blazek, and their 2 children, Emmeline, 16, and Joseph, 6, and have done so for only a few years now. This property is a $9 million mansion in Brentwood Park. The mansion has a wonderful Hampton-inspired style and is absolutely ginormous with enough room for the family and more. It's made up of over 8,000 square feet of land and has 6 bedrooms and 7.5 bathrooms. It also has an indoor movie theater, an outdoor pool and spa area, as well as a library and a music/game room. The yard to this house isn't incredibly spacious, but it's still pretty nice nonetheless. It also offers the Bale family a decent amount of privacy from the watching eye compared to other properties in the area. This means they can enjoy the sun and time outside without having to worry about the press. Formerly, the small family lived on a beautiful 8.5-acre ranch in Sullivan Canyon in California, worth over $13.5 million. The property itself is over 4,500 square feet, meaning that this was more than enough room for both themselves and the guests galore. The main house was decked with 4 bedrooms and 3.5 bathrooms, and was lavishly spacious throughout. The property also featured a large outdoor pool and a horse stable, so the kids had endless fun at home. We can only presume the couple sold the property so they were able to size up and go somewhere with a bit more privacy. Alongside these 2 properties, Bale also previously owned a $2 million house in Santa Monica that the family formerly lived in. That's more than a bit pricey for a starter home, we have to admit. Next up is his cars, but unfortunately it's not a huge collection, so if you're a big car fan, you're going to be more than a little disappointed. I know, I agree with you. Why have all that money and not throw some of it away on sports car or 2? Celebrities. Bale isn't the sort of actor that fawns over flashy sports cars, so he doesn't have a huge collection like some other celebs we've looked at in the past. Instead, he owns just two, a 1999 Mercedes-Benz C43 AMG and a Toyota Tacoma. Still, these two cars still amass around $90,000 worth of a car, so even if he's not the biggest car fan in the world, he's certainly not stingy. Still, a humble collection that offers both practicality and style for the working family man. Now let's have a look at Christian Bale's personal style and how he spends his fortune ensuring he's always able to look like Bruce Wayne on a good day, that is. First of all, is his to-die-for collection of watches. Bale always looks dapper when he steps onto the red carpet, and he has his watches to thank for that. More often than not sporting an all-black ensemble with the occasional blue, Bale sometimes always manages to dress like a spy. He's been seen pairing this outfit with the ultra-thin Cartier Drive on countless occasions. Though it's not always so easy to spot considering how sleek it is a thin and modern cushion-shaped watch, inspired by automakers that really elevates a look. The watch will run you a good few $1,000s, but Bale is obviously getting his use out of it. Bale also opts for Cartier when it comes to leisure and sports always, choosing instead to go with the Cartier Calibre. This is a more striking and noticeable piece than the Cartier Drive, and is a perfect option for exercising due to its mobility. It's incredibly durable and elegant, featuring signature Cartier design aspects such as Roman numerals and blue sapphire cabochon. This watch is also a groundbreaking benchmark for Cartier, as it's the first watch powered by the 1904 MC, the brand's first in-house chronograph movement. Therefore, it's a huge landmark for the branch, as well as just being a beautiful piece. Again, you can't expect this watch to run you up a few $1,000s too. Bale has also been seen sporting some incredible pieces on screen. These include his signature Jaeger LeCoultre Reverso from the Dark Knight trilogy, which has been a signature to the character of Bruce Wayne since the 90s. He also appeared in a Rolex Datejust in 2000's American Psycho, as well as the Rolex Day Date in Vice. Now, on to Bale's other style choices. Bale isn't the most style-obsessed celebrity we've come by, as he likes to keep out of the public eye as much as possible. This doesn't mean he can't avoid the celebrity lifestyle altogether though. He does have to occasionally dress up from time to time for events such as premieres and red carpets. When he does, he certainly does so in sleek style. Christian Bale prefers to opt for an all-black ensemble and sports some incredibly luxurious brands while doing so. He stepped out onto the red carpet in Dolce & Gabbana suits alongside some other fancy brands too. In his day-to-day life, he tends not to splurge much of his money and instead opts for casual leisure attire or a cool leather jacket. Now, on to his charitable ways of spending money. While Bale seemingly likes to keep his purchases on the down low, he's not been able to hide all of his charity work from the public. He doesn't go out of his way to publicize his selflessness, but he is a known supporter of at least 7 charities. These include the Fulfillment Fund, Greenpeace, Human Rights First, WWF, and more. That's everything we have, unfortunately. We can only assume that Bale spends lots of money jetting around on exclusive yet private family holidays, as well as pampering his wife and kids, but we really don't know. He truly is the mystery man on the red carpet because he's been wildly successful in keeping most aspects of his life under wraps. If you know anything we've missed, make sure you leave it in the comments so we can see. That's everything for today, so before we part ways, make sure you subscribe to our channel to see future videos like this and turn on notifications so as to not miss out. See you next time for another video!